So today we're going to dive into something really fascinating. It's an animated horror story that takes a real-life tragedy and spins this incredibly elaborate supernatural explanation around it. We're going to look at how a truly compelling mystery can inspire an equally compelling piece of fiction.
And at the very heart of the story we're deconstructing is this one single, real-world question. It's a mystery that has stumped a lot of people, and it's the perfect, chilling foundation for a paranormal thriller.
Okay, so these are the undisputed facts. Gaurav Tiwari, a huge name in the paranormal community, died under very mysterious circumstances right in his own apartment. His death left this huge void, and of course, a ton of speculation rushed in to fill it. And that's exactly where our story kicks off.
So the material for this explainer comes from an animated story called Shaitani Dastan. Now, it's really important to remember, right off the bat, this is not a documentary. It's a work of fiction, created to explore all the what-ifs surrounding Tiwari's last days, and it blends known facts with a very heavy dose of supernatural storytelling.
The story opens up, and right away, its version of Gaurav is already in a state of serious distress. This one line tells you everything you need to know. He feels like he's being hunted by something from his past. It just sets this tone of impending doom right before he gets dragged into one final, fateful case.
And what kicks this whole thing off? A phone call. A really desperate one. A guy named Mr. Taneja calls from a place called Janakpuri, totally convinced that his daughter has been possessed. And he insists that Gaurav is the only person on Earth who can help him.
Mr. Taneja starts describing these absolutely chilling symptoms. He says his daughter's health is just tanking, her eyes turn completely pitch black, and she's speaking in all these different voices that are not her own. And, in a classic paranormal setup, he says they've done all the medical tests and everything has come back completely normal.
You know, what the story does here is pretty clever. It establishes this deep internal conflict for our main character. On the phone with his client, Gaurav is the cool, calm professional saying, "Don't worry, I'll be there." But then, in private, he's telling his colleague Manya that he's haunted, he's not sleeping, and he's sure that an old case has come back to finish him. And here's the kicker. The story explicitly links his past with his present danger. He tells Manya that during an investigation at the infamous Bongard fort, something was there, listening, and now it's followed him. So this new case isn't random. The story is telling us it's payback for a past failure.
Okay, so now things are really ramping up. The story builds to its climax as Gaurav and Manya arrive at the super eerie apartment building in Janakpuri. As they walk in, they can already hear screams coming from the third floor. They're literally walking into the heart of the crisis, ready to face whatever is waiting for them.
The second Gaurav enters the room, the possessed girl just stops screaming. She smiles at him and speaks these chilling words directly to him. You see, this isn't some random haunting. Whatever this thing is, it knows him. It's been looking for him, and that makes it deeply personal.
So when Gaurav asks the entity for its reason, the girl replies, "We all have our own reasons." And that one little word, "we," just changes the entire game. He realizes he's not dealing with a single spirit. This is something else entirely, a collective possession, which is way more complex and way more dangerous. And then, boom, the shocking reveal. The entity shows Gaurav who we are, and it's 40 distinct, shadowy figures all surrounding him. The story makes a point to say that in his entire career, Gaurav has never seen anything like it. One body possessed by 40 separate souls.
So he's faced with this totally unprecedented paranormal threat, and the story really pushes him into a corner. The 40 spirits, they don't want to fight him in the usual way. Instead, they propose a deal, a sinister bargain that's going to decide everybody's fate.
The deal itself is terrifyingly simple. The 40 souls say, "Look, we'll leave this innocent girl's body, but on one condition. You have to take us with you. You have to become our new host." And after just a moment's hesitation, the story frames him as this ultimate hero, making the ultimate sacrifice by saying, "I accept your deal." And the second he accepts, the consequence is immediate. Instant. The 40 shadows just vanish into thin air, and Gaurav collapses to the ground. His body starts to convulse, and his face turns black and lifeless, mirroring the exact symptoms the possessed girl had. The deal is done.
So you're probably thinking, okay, there it is. That's the tragic explanation for Gaurav's death. But just when you think you've got it all figured out, the story yanks the rug right out from under you. The narrator comes back with one final shocking twist. That's right.
After building up this whole dramatic showdown, this heroic sacrifice, the storyteller looks you right in the eye and says, nope, this was not the cause of his death. The incredible event we just witnessed, the deal with 40 souls, is suddenly reframed as just one little piece of a much bigger and still unsolved puzzle.
And what does this do? Well, it's a classic move to set up a sequel. The story ends by posing way more questions than it answers. It leaves you hanging, teasing some deeper connection that's going to be revealed in the next part of the series.
You know, when you step back and look at it, this animated tale is a powerful example of our need for stories to make sense of the unknown. When we're faced with the chaos of a real-world tragedy, stories like this offer a kind of order. They fill the void with demons and bargains and heroic sacrifices. It really speaks to our deep need for closure, and it leaves us all to wonder about that blurry line between the facts of a life and the fictions we create to try and explain its end.